Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Oregairu. It is season 3 episode 4 and well, it's the old game again and Iroha is stirring the pot. We had an interesting prom test. I liked it, it was nice, it was entertaining. And now let's see what is next, because I'm not sure. Will we have an edit of that out in the school and reactions, or will it be another step now? Let's just jump in and see. We go in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, the video is out in the school. Okay.
プロムの PV タイムライン上でも結構バズってますよ。ほら。
Oh my goodness.
ああ、私も見た。結構上げてる人いたね。ですです。
副次的なプロモーションにつながったのなら、それなりにコストをかけた価値はあったわね。
で今日は？
公式サイトに使う写真データ一覧で出したので、
Official
NG あったら
picture.
弾いちゃってください。
は？お前ら何撮影中にイチャついて。俺も人のこと言えねえよな。なんか思い出すだけで恥ずかしくなってきた。
The pictures are talking.
ヒキ一緒に見る？
いや、いいわ。
Mm-hmm.
下手に見たら全部 NG つけたくなりそうだし。
じゃあ私見とくね。
She looks happy and everyone, and he looks, well,
どう？
picky.
少しは違和感がなくなった。
まあ言い方は悪いが、プロムに対するハードルは下がったよ。動画見た人も多分そう思ったんじゃねえの？
そう。なら動画を出した意味は十分あったわね。
こんな感じ。ありがとうございます。
二人ともありがとう。わざわざ来てもらってごめんなさいね。もう大丈夫だから。
Oh, she wants to push him away?
そのつもりでいたけれど。制作物は生徒会でやっているし、今のところ他に人手を必要とするような仕事もないから。ね。
雪乃先輩が言うならまあそうですね。
どうしても人手が足りない時にまたお願いするかもしれないけれど、その時は声をかけるわ。
わかった。じゃあお疲れ様。手伝えることがあったらまた声かけて。暇になっちゃったね。
まあ俺はいつも暇なんだが、三浦とかと遊び。
Oh, she's hanging out with you.
今日はお手伝いやるって聞いてたから。
ほう。
Out staring.
どっか寄ってくか。ああいや、小町の合格祝いか誕生日祝いか。なんか
And here we go.
と思ってたな。
いいじゃんそれ。絶対いいよ。超いい。行く行く。
It's a bit like a date, isn't it? Just a tiny bit. I just realized I doubled the sound, sorry. What I ask myself is, did Yugi want to cause something like that? I'm not sure. Rara port? I'm already making the decisions. Oh, now you're dead. Likes coffee? I can feel the love. With him. Because now there's two nice things on it. Oh, yeah, sure. With filter. Stopped. Still searching. Hmm. Ooh. Yeah. Oil baron. An oil baron. Yeah. Right is not a career path. Uh-oh. It's possibly nothing. Exception? Ooh. Oh. Oh. Disaster. Hi, Mom. Oh, that will be... If she's... Okay. Unbecoming? Possibly her. Playing her own game. Because she seems so calm and nice. Yeah. Sorry, that's just blah. We will return for further discussions, and now she's in it. You. Wow. Ask myself how many it were. Yep. The fact that she's leaving. You need someone else to talk to instead of her mom. He's again pushing them out. Yeah, well, okay. Hmm. Oh, you look. Hmm. I don't agree with her completely. I see her point, but I think in the past a lot of the things they did together were from her. It was always a relationship of all three working together. But okay, I can see that she needs something about herself alone. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of her own story. Yeah. Because now it feels like, oh, she's bringing a boy home. Oof. He's so pushy. Yeah, there we are again. Oh, she's crying. Ah. Okay. Interesting. I like the fact that Yui is kind of comparing her actions to the one of Yuki when it's about Hiki, right? Okay. I really enjoyed that episode in the looking at from the end of the episode, right? Because as you may have realized, my main problem with the last episodes, my main trouble was that it felt like we were stomping the same ground again. Like we were again talking about this, as it mentioned now, love triangle. And I was like, oh no, man, seriously, it's the same old, and it's getting, I wouldn't say boring, but it feels like we already realized we are not coming to any conclusion there. In a love triangle, there's no perfect ending, right? Because always someone will get hurt. And this episode, in my view, changed that now, because it feels to me like we finally have something new in something and a growth in. I mean, the last episode played into that direction, so we slithered in slowly over multiple episodes from the old season into this new one and what it is about, and that is the fact that Yuki needs some space, in the meaning of she needs time and option to develop herself, to grow as a person, to handle situations alone, to for herself become an adult, and for her family become an adult. And around that it all moves. And that's why Haruno became so much more important in this season. I can see it. It's a nice one. I like it. Sorry. I do not completely agree that this codependency is as strong as some people think it is in this season. Here, yes, the girls very often did rely on Hiki, but then he did rely on them as well in other ways. They are, they are a triangle. It very often seemed to me, and I agree, especially in season 1, I think it was that when they discussed about multiple ideas that they want to do as a solution for one problem, that very, very often we ended up with the idea of Hiki. Which I thought at that time is mainly because he was the main character. But yes, it might be that they pushed it too much onto him and maybe relied too much on him. I can see it. Maybe it was a bit too much. But still, this codependency was necessary because it helped them all grow. It helped them overcome different problems they had. It helped them understand themselves and others. So it was not only negative, and I think it was not mainly negative. Now a moment of saying, I want to solve whatever problem alone. It doesn't have to be the problem, It's just like a huge sign that it is a problem. I can see that and I can understand it, but also you got to understand from the other side and agree to that friends just are friends and want to help because they are friends, not to keep a dependency. I don't think it ever was like that Hiki wanted to keep that dependency. The question of Haruno, it's nice to feel needed. Don't you think? Something like that was the question, right? Towards Hickey when they were walking on the street. Yes, sadly enough, yes, she's right with that. It does not mean, however, that we, people, actively try to make people stay that way. Stuff like that exists. It is called gaslighting, as far as I remember. So keeping people down by making them uncomfortable, by keeping them feeling inadequate, and thus they feel inadequate. They have to rely on us, and that is something we want and we enjoy. That is gaslighting. And yes, that would be a very harsh and very negative way of this dependency they talked about. But I think neither Yui nor Hickey are doing that at all. Not at all. But yes, even if we don't do something like that, the moment when someone is reaching out to you, a family member, a friend, someone at work, whatever, and says, hey, I need your help with that. I know you are good at that. Or I trust you to help me with that. Something like that. Sure, it feels good because it is a praise of what we are capable of. So I don't see really that much of a negativity. As I said, there are multiple viewpoints in here. We have people who, in this series, who see it as too much of that, like Haruno, it seems. And we have people who did not see it at all yet, like Hickey and possibly Yui, but starting to understand the concept, right? And I think, as always, the truth is somewhere in the middle. So yes, give Yuki her time to solve it herself. I can understand that. The question is if she has to solve all of it by herself, because right now it seems like there this amount of work that has come in has grown. She could have done it herself. We know that. And if we remember season 1, I think it was, where she was about planning stuff, she's capable of doing more or less everything herself. But now we have a new enemy on the line, and that is her mom. And I guess the confrontation with her mother and what she is standing for and what she's trying, it would be good if Yuki do it herself, because it is a family affair, kind of, right? But additional stuff that she brings in, like this PTO and the people that are behind it, and additional problems with it, possibly someone else should carry as well. Because you can only do so much. I am pretty sure Mom is not fighting her own alone. She brings in other stuff and other people as well. So you should do the same. Build up. Which brings me to Yuki's mother. It was very surprising that she appeared at the school there. And I am not sure what exactly is going on. Because it was her statement, if I understand correctly, that some PTO members stated concern with what happened there, right? So there it is. I was searching the exact statement. There was a comment from Haruno after that, and that is the one that got me very, very much thinking. So after Yuki's mom said there are some members of the PTO who have shouted concern about what's going on and stuff like that, and it is necessary that we take them in consideration. A little bit later she said that, and yes, even those that don't like we should take in consideration, but still it is a democracy kind of, so the major numbers should have the voting and the saying. Haruno said there weren't an especially large number of negative opinions though, and that is the point. So we have, I don't know, let's say 100 people. A small amount of them, let's say 5, say, I don't like that prom, we should stop it. And Yuki's mom is now moving in and saying the PTO is having problems with your prom. No, it has not. It's 5 of 100. I don't know the exact number, right? I just took that out of thin air. And yes, we should take those 5 in consideration because we want everyone to be happy and so on and so forth. But you cannot stop a prom due to 5 people not liking it, right? Unless they are like, it is an affront to, I don't know, something really important and stuff. So you should hear their thoughts. But it does not mean you have to stop. The fact that Yuki's mom is waltzing in there like it is a war right now feels weird. I'm pretty sure she's one of them, of these small numbers. And I ask myself if she has a special reason to do it. If she is going on a little crusade against her own girl. And that would be sad, but feels a bit like something that had to happen. So the main problem is not this number of PTO members. The main problem is that Yuki's mom made herself the spokesperson for them. And as we've seen her now and realized what she's like, I wrote it down. She is like steel coated in silk. That's a problem. She's really, really good at stuff like that, right? So everyone on the table struggled with how to say something, how to oppose her, and whatever they did, she just turned it around against them. She just smashed the competition away. So that's a problem. And it's not such an untypical thing. If you look into politics, if you look into not commercial, industrial and thinking about the word, salespersons. So if you go out and you have a really, really good salesman, or you have a really, really good spokesperson that is good with words and opinions and empathy and everything, and they just walk through. You cannot stop them. You can stand next to a friend and watch them being sugar-coated and soaped, turned over, made into the package, and leaving wherever they were, and really thinking that either they are completely loved by this person, or they had no chance at all because, although they might have been right, the other person seemed to have more arguments. And you're like, no, they had not. They had no arguments. They just rolled you over. They just rickrolled you, you know? And it's interesting to see that they put a character like that in this episode here, in this show. I like it. The other thing we had is, while Yuki is withdrawing herself a little bit from Hiki and Yui, not meaning withdrawing the friendship, but withdrawing out of the reasons we just talked about. And it feels a bit like additionally withdrawing the emotional part, and meaning the romance thoughts of this. It happens that Hiki and Yui do have more time with each other, and Yui is clearly enjoying that. So they had kind of a date. They went out shopping, you know. She made a picture of herself with Hiki, and if you think about that, she now made a picture and has a picture with her and Hiki alone in a whatever kind of happy situation, right? And that's the kind of picture that Yuki has and that Hiki has seen in the past. So it feels a bit like Yuki is one step farther on her whatever lane she's going along, and Yui is following a bit behind, and she reflected on that in the past. Yuki was able, in this episode, Yuki was able to withdraw. Yuki was able to do stuff, right? To withdraw herself from Hiki. She can't. She cannot yet. She feels still dependent on him, possibly, right? She has the problems of crying when he's near. She made a picture now that is kind of a bit like the picture that Yuki already has with Hiki. So it's interesting to see that she realizes that herself, and she's crying a lot. And in the end, she said she's sorry that she stopped crying there. So maybe, just maybe, he could have stayed with her then. Yes, if she would have cried on, he would have stayed with her and not helped Yuki. Might very well be. But then, and I really like that fact that she stated that, she could not take away, she couldn't ask him to stop being so nice to others. And I really like that, because that is something that she values in him, and I think is something that generally is a very positive aspect on people. And it's a problematic aspect on people. So I when you look around and you look at your family, you look at your friends, you realize very often you have one person like that is destroying itself to help others. You know, there's no consideration of yourself for people like that. So it's very often a mother or the grandmother, when it is about her own family. They do so much, and sometimes too much. I see that in my family very much, sadly enough. My mother and my sister doing stuff like that for their respective families, and both of them realizing that the other person is doing it too much, but do not realize they do it themselves. There is no stopping block. But there are friends who do that as well, who go out for others and do everything for them, but do not care enough about their own lives, in the meaning of having their own problems and struggling, and not getting the same amount of help back. And that's no offense to the others, right? They do what they can, but sometimes people just burn with the desire to help others. It's weird. I think that's it for this time. We scratched a little bit on the fact that our favorite teacher is leaving. I think we will have more about that in the next episode, possibly. Yeah, and that's it from me this time. If you liked, I did for sure, and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Bye, and out.